Hey y'all, this is Rayborn the Witch coming at you live from Fimspiration 215, and I'm here to present my air signs with the September 2020 self-care spread. So what I did was I created a spread with my intentions that I have for the new moon and the energies of the four directions, and I pulled in 4 different tarot decks to really kind of like connect with the message that's trying to come out for each of the questions that I designed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started with my North energy. For my air signs, my Aquarius, my Gemini, and my Libra. So the first question that I'm going to ask is to my unknown animal spirit deck. And this deck will tap us into some energies of animal energies that is going to help us connect with self. Okay, so in order for us to really go into that self-care place, sometimes we need inspiration for what kind of manner we need to connect with self. So I'm asking my animal spirit oracle deck what my Aquarius, my Gemini, and my Libra need to reconnect with. What kind of energy do they need in order to reconnect with self? My Aquarius, my Gemini, and my Libra. Aquarius, my Gemini, and my Libra. Okay, so for my Aquarians, what kind of energy do they need to tap into? Oh, I love that so much, okay? My Gemini, what energy do you need to tap into? What energy does my Geminis need in order to connect to self? Geminis, that's definitely one right there for Geminis. And my Libra, beautiful. Okay, so for my Aquarians, there is a need to connect with the spider energy. And when we see the spider, we see this web and we see these chakra colors, right? So there's a need to connect with all your chakras and really align all your chakras towards the things that are you're weaving. And to also, there's another reader that I was watching, and when they got this card, they got this need to, they thought about this as like a need to protect yourself and your energy and the web that you're weaving, your dharma, all of your legacy that you're building right now, and all the threads that kind of create the life and the tapestry that you're weaving in this life. But there's also, got a little nose thing right there. Woo. Okay, so maybe that's what other readers is like, when my nose itches, it's true. But for real though, like there's a need to really guard your energy and guard your legacy. There's also a need for you to remain understanding that you are not going to be this impenetrable force. You do need to let some light shine through your aura in order to keep receiving the things that are coming to you, but it's about discerning them and knowing what to get caught in your web and what to release from your web is super important with this energy and with this card. So there's a need to understand that you are building a legacy for yourself and that you need to protect that legacy with discernment, but also with creativity, with alignment of all of your chakra points and the things that kind of resonate within you. I love this card for my Aquarius and all my other air signs as well. Now, my Geminis get the Nightingale. The Nightingale is also all about speaking out. It's speaking out in the dark. It's standing out when no one's watching. It's standing out and connecting with spirit and really aligning yourself to your voice in order to connect with spirit, in order to speak what you want to happen in your life. Sometimes you actually need to speak, right? And it's also about asking for your needs, even if you're scared of them not being met. There's a need to ask for them. And then it's on this throat chakra kind of color. So there's a need to open up your throat chakra and speak out a little bit more. So that's from my Gemini, but that's also from my air signs in general. The need to speak out and speak with discernment. My Libras get the card of the Vulture. Now the Vulture isn't a bad card. The Vulture is all about cleansing and clearing out energy. So that new things can come. So when I did a reading at the beginning of this quarantine, and the vulture spirit was alive and well. It's all about like how nature takes its course in order to clear things out that are keeping it from growing and keeping it from regenerating. We're also healing the heart right now. Like we're healing the heart of the universe. We're healing the heart of the world. We're healing the heart of Earth. And so sometimes vulture spirit comes in to clear out the mess, the decay, the clutter that no longer is going to bring us any new life and any awareness. So it's time to really take out the garbage, so to speak, and to know that when you do that, you are giving yourself room for new, amazing, abundant things to come in. So let's move on to the next direction, which is the east direction. And the east direction brings in the element of fire. So what I'm asking my mystical shaman deck to give us some healing magic that we need to tap into in order to continue on our self-care journey, right? So this deck gives us the medicine that we need. So I'm going to read the medicine that comes out in each of the cards that come out for my air signs. So starting with my Aquarius, then my Gemini, and then my Libra. What magical healing needs to be tapped into for my air signs? What healing magic do my air signs need to tap into at this time? Okay, for my Aquarians, what healing magic do my Aquarians need to tap into? Okay. What healing magic do my Geminis need to tap into? Okay. Keep getting these cards out. I had them out before. And what about my Libras? What healing magic do they need right now to tap into? For my Libras. There we go. Beautiful. Now these cards, some of these cards came out in other readings as well. So there might be some connections to other signs as well. Like with the Aquarius, I'm getting some of the cards that I got for my fire signs. So I actually got this card today for what needs to be tapped into for this question for myself in my own reading. And it was the wind, the energy of the wind, the call of the four directions. So this reading right here probably really resonates with you, or does need to resonate with you as a message of the things that you need to cultivate in your own life in order to heal and continue moving forward. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the medicine that comes from this reading, this card right here. So this is the wind. This is 63, which is the 9, which is the energy that we're in. And this is when the wind comes, right? I had a reader that said to me one time, the wind is your source of power and strength. You need to walk in the wind. You need to walk when it's windy. It like can shake the things that you need to shake up in your life. So the invitation and the medicine of the wind. So I'm going to read the medicine message of the wind, okay? So when wind comes as medicine, you're being invited to recognize the value of chaos. Windstorms provide necessary chaos to clear the air and spread seeds so plants and trees can take root in new fields. Right now it is time, it may seem as if your world has been turned upside down, but this is temporary storm that will blow over. Perhaps communication has broken down between you and another, or your many to-do lists are overwhelming you. The medicine is to simplify, slow down, course correct if you need to, and wait out the storm to clean things up. Just know that all storms have great value if you can remain neutral during their course. Greater clarity and good things will come from it all. Remember, this too shall pass. So right now you're probably like, whoa, this is too much, right? There's a lot of messages coming through. So you need to kind of remain calm in the storm. So this is like you being the eye of the hurricane, right? Like there's going to be calm. Might be calm in the interim, but you know that there's chaos coming, and maybe you need to like remain centered and remain grounded, or become grounded and centered before your life picks up even more. I know that a couple of my Aquarians' life has just picked up, so this is definitely a message that could resonate for you. So the next card is the Vision Quest card. I love this card, right? So this card is all about a journey to self, a journey back to center. So the Vision Quest medicine, it says, Spirit has been trying to contact you, but received no answer. You are too busy with your life, and there is too much noise inside your head. Ooh, if that's not the wind right there, calling you right there. Do not miss the call again. Make room for quiet time this evening. Allow yourself to become bored for a little while, and you'll be able to hear the important message trying to get through. So in all the chaos and all the storm and all the swirls that are going on around you, it's really important for you to find time and to just shut it all off and to be in silence. I know it's hard to, because it's hard for me to, but so many messages come through when I actually spend the 15 minutes in meditation just counting my breath. That's when all the messages come to me. And that's what I did to prepare for this reading, is I cleared my energy with grounding practices like that. And that helped me so that I can be a clear channel for you. So you need to be a clear channel for others as well, maybe. And you need to go forth into yourself so that you can clear yourself out. Clear your mind out so that you can replace it with new ideas and new thoughts. Now, the next is Gemini, and Gemini got many paths. So this many paths card was one that Sagittarius got in their last reading. So maybe you're connected to a Sagittarius. Maybe you have Sagittarius in your chart. And so this might be a repeat message for you if you look at your birth chart and you know kind of what placements you have. So for many paths, the medicine. You have outgrown your current situation and risk losing your way in your own backyard. You are being called to step out of your comfort zone. Respond now while the call is still a gentle whisper. Even though the woods look thick and impenetrable, venture in and let nature guide your steps through the darkness until you reach your destination. Remember, if you do not know where you're going, any path you take will get you there. So it's really important right now to just let spirit be your guide. It's really important to know that like you might not be able to see the forest through the trees, but that you might be right at the edge of the forest without realizing it. And you just need to step into your new path, into your new timeline, into your new destination, so that you can continue moving forward. But you are being called to step into a new timeline. You're being called to step in a new direction. And the last one is for my Libras, and they got the Witness. The Witness is this woman with stag horns that's like looking at things and being very maybe judgmental and discerning of her environment and of her surroundings and of the things that she's known in the past and the ways that she wants to move forward. The Witness is all about your change in perspective of knowing what you see might not be what is actually real. There might be a lot of illusion around you, or maybe you're creating this veil of illusion for yourself in order to protect yourself. But there is this element of shift in perspective needed with the Witness card. So let me get the medicine for you, Libras, and also all the air signs as well. They might need this message too. So for the Witness, the medicine, acknowledge your preconceptions, ideas, and feelings about a situation you are in, but resist the urge to change any of it. Do not fall back into controlling patterns. Instead, take a few breaths and connect with the joy of not having to perform. Of not having to perform. You do not always have to be putting on a show of strength for others. You can take a moment, take a beat, resist controlling the situation, resist control in general. Just release and let go. Hold space for the world to keep spinning on its own. You have the ability to step out of the situation and know that it's going to keep moving forward and that you can step back at any time. Release control. That's all I'm going to say. And I know my Libras need to hear it. Okay, so the next direction is the south direction. The south direction is all about air energy, and air energy asks us to reevaluate our thoughts and our thinking patterns and our beliefs, right? So I ask the air energy and the air energy of, of the direction of the south, what thoughts do I need to reprogram? And I'm using my Universe Got Your Back deck, which just gives us affirmations. So I'm going to hold the affirmations up and you can take a screenshot of it if you want. So I'm asking the south direction for my air signs. What thoughts do they need to be reprogrammed? So for my air signs, what thoughts need to be reprogrammed? For my Aquarius, my Gemini, and my Libra, what thoughts need to be reprogrammed? For my Aquarius, my Gemini, and my Libra, what thoughts need to be reprogrammed? A lot of times self-care starts with self-talk, right? So for my Aquarius, what thoughts need to be reprogrammed? For my Gemini, what thoughts need to be reprogrammed? For my Gemini, what thoughts need to be reprogrammed? There we go. And for my Libra, what thoughts need to be reprogrammed for my Libras? Whew. There we are. Beautiful. Okay. So for my Aquarius, this card came out in reverse. Now, I don't read these cards in reverse, but it did come out in reverse, but I'll put it in the upright because this might be some stuck energy that we need to release. So it says, I honor how I want to feel. Not necessarily how I'm feeling in the circumstances, in the swirl of chaos around me. I honor how I want to feel and I project that forward. And that's what happens in my world around me. So reframe your perceptions of the situation, of the chaos, so that you can see it through how you want to feel. The next is my Gemini, and my Gemini get a card that I have used as my intention all month, and this is energy flows where my intention goes. Energy flows where my intention goes. So if you have intention to speak out about things that you hate, well, then energy of things you hate is going to keep coming into your life. If you speak about the things that you wish to cultivate in your life, that is where your energy is going to go. Whatever you're putting your time and your energy into is what's going to flow forward. So if you feel stuck and stagnant, maybe at work or in a relationship or with other people in your relationships with other people, sometimes your best thing is to create the intention behind it of being loving and caring towards everybody, and that's going to be mirrored back to you. So sometimes we have to just reframe what we care about and what we're putting our energy into so that we can grow the right crops, so that we can grow these flowers, these plants of abundance around us. And when I see this, I see green and I see yellow. So green energy is all heart chakra energy. So whatever I care about deeply that brings me emotional satisfaction is where my flow is going to go. And then also we have the yellow, which is all the solar plexus energy, which is all self-confidence. So having the confidence to move forward with what you think is best is going to bring better results than if you just keep pushing against something that is being called to this kind of, take a chill pill at the moment, right? So Libras get, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. I let go of the shadow of the past for the first time, being able to see somebody through the eyes of love. Now, I know that a lot of Libras might be going through it, or a lot of air signs in general might be going through it in respects to people that have passed, or circumstances of relationships that they had to walk away from or disconnect from. But with that, when we disconnect, we still have to come from an understanding of, and I just say that to say, like, I've done that work, and I think it's important to always have compassion for yourself and another person in the situation, even the ones that cause the most harm. And also, if you're dealing with the passing of a loved one, a lot of times the grief process begins with you. It goes through stages, right? Some of the stages where you could get stuck are stages of feeling like angry at the person and knowing that you can't resolve the situation anymore and that you have to move forward with it. And knowing that I've had to resolve issues with my own mother that has passed. I had to do a lot of my forgiveness and a lot of my healing work with her after she was gone. But nonetheless, I kept moving forward and seeing her through the eyes of compassion and love and respect, and knowing that she gave me the gifts that she gave me in this life, and they might not have always been the best gifts, but they were gifts that taught me how to have greater love and understanding for myself and others. So I think that's an important message for some people. So the last direction is the west direction. Now the west direction is the water element of water. And the water element asks us to evaluate our feelings, right? And our emotions. But what I wanted to do with this, because I think that a lot of times we forget that we have people on the other side that are there to support us. And not only people, we have entities on the other side that are there to support us without realizing it, even if we don't subscribe to that. We know that we didn't create this life on our own, that we talked with people in other realms before we came into this existence, and they have been pushing us and guiding us on our path forward. So I'm asking my spirit team, what guidance we need to get for our air signs. So what guidance do our air signs need from their spirit team? What guidance do our air signs need from their spirit team? So this might be like a message from a loved one that has passed, something that you hear or have heard them say, or something that just really resonates with you. And this is my crow deck, which don't tell no lies, okay? So I'm asking my crow deck for my air signs, what messages from their spirit team do they need to hear right now? Okay, so for my Aquarians, what messages from their spirit team do they need to hear right now? Beautiful. For my Geminis and for my Libras. For my Libras, what's beautiful? Okay. So, for my Aquarians, we have the King of Pentacles. So, the King of Pentacles for me is this person, it's masculine energy, but I don't really like to see it as a masculine energy necessarily, but they're asking you to go for the gold, right? They're saying that you have the stability and the structures needed to create this life of abundance and purpose for yourself, and a life built on self-worth and really like mastering your craft, right? So they're really honoring that you have this star that's shining above you, and you've been given this crown, and what you do with this resources that you have now is up to you. You might have just come into new money, new wealth, and it's important to understand that this was being guided to you and this is being gifted to you by spirit. And in order for you to move forward with it, you need to recognize it and be thankful for it and be blessed by it, and know that you're going to be able to build a life of legacy from the fruits of labor that you've already kind of reaped the rewards from. So congratulations if you have come into some money or into some new elevation of yourself in some way, and you maybe are in the public eye, being recognized for your craft and your resources that you bring to the table. So I know that this is maybe again a very specific message for a dear friend that is now on a reality show on Netflix, and I can't wait to watch the first episode of it. But I know that Aquarians in general are being gifted with resources to bring forth their next ventures. So the next card I get is for my Geminis, and also air signs in general, like I said. So we have two cards that came out. We have the Nine of Cups, which is all about abundance and self-care. We are in the 9th month, which is all about self-care. So I love that the self-care card came out. It's asking you to look within for your emotional fulfillment in order to replenish yourself. And then we also have the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is a really great energy of really jumping through hurdles, jumping through obstacles, and seeing the journey that you've gone through has led you to be able to stand strong, right? So when you get this Six of Wands energy and you have this crow here that's standing in the middle of a ring of fire, you know that the energy that you've put forth has been like jumping through hoops that have been like lit up by like fire, and you've maintained your composure and you've jumped through those hoops, and you need to keep moving forward from that. You have a lot of admirers right now, or your spirit team is admiring you for your courage to stand strong, to feel victorious, and because you have been able to cultivate abundance within yourself. This Nine of Pentacles means that you have reached a certain level of emotional satisfaction. You have been able to kind of like sit back and relax, or you can, and you have the luxury to do that. And there's small ways that you can do that moving forward in order to stay grounded and connected to the cups that you filled and that you protect, right? And for my Libras and also my air signs in general, we get the Hermit in reverse. The Hermit in reverse, the spirit team is asking you to stop avoiding the darkness, stop avoiding your shadow work, stop avoiding the areas where you need to kind of move forward and look into the shadows of your past, and see new kind of insights from there. The Hermit is a card, you know, it's the 9th card. It's the Virgo energy. We're in this Virgo energy month, nearing going into Libra season. But the Hermit card asks us to stop resisting the darkness. The Hermit always is like a card of somebody that has like, it's a crone that goes into the cave with just a lantern to guide them, or their inner light to see them through. And when I see the Hermit in reverse, sometimes I think about the avoidance of not wanting to peer in the shadows, but that's exactly the work that's needed to be done. And that's the self-care that needs to be done, is to seek out that therapy, maybe to seek out some other enlightenment strategies so that you can go into the darkness and know that you're going to see the light again. Like, you're not going to get swept away and swallowed away into it. You have the lamp inside of you. You have the inner conviction, the inner knowing of what next steps to take. And sometimes when you are walking in the darkness, the next step is just one step forward. You don't know maybe where you're going or where you're leading towards, but you know that this is important work that you need to do. And sometimes we refuse to do it because it's heavy and it's burdensome. But this month is all about going into the darkness and doing this self-care so that we can prepare ourselves for wintertime, when it either becomes better or worse for us on an emotional level. We need to get centered, and we need to recognize that we have this inner strength to see that light. So that is my air sign reading for self-care for September. All of my information for private readings and everything about the decks that I used and the questions that I asked is in the description box below. I look forward to you joining me on the other various platforms that I have listed as well, and I will see you soon.